well, but right now we have Mike, who is sitting over there. Is he drinking a beer? No, you're not drinking a beer. What's wrong with you, Mike? Mike is not drinking a beer or eating. He is dishonoring Ham Bones. Here he comes up to the stage in disgrace.
It's been
Mike,
a long weekend.
How are you?
Doing well. Just got back from North Carolina this morning. I had too many down there this weekend.
Mike is a trooper. Heather, our chief meteorologist, she bailed on us this morning. She's sick, apparently. She's bailed on us, whereas Mike has traveled the roadways. He's made it all the way up through the terrible highways we spoke about in Pennsylvania and managed to find himself here on time at Ham Bones.
Well, the roads in West Virginia are very good.
Much better than Pennsylvania, right?
Well, Rockefeller and Byrd have
Would
done,
you agree
done
that
good things.
Would you agree that Pennsylvania is somewhat of a third world nation when it comes to highway traffic?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's unquestionably.
It's terrible.
We've got horrible roads.
We've got low speed limits, disrepair, narrow lanes. It's like Armageddon on the highway.
It is. It is.
You get closer to
Okay.
the mic there. There we go. Awesome. All right, so we are a table of winners here. Mike, you just won the alternate delegate for the Republican Party at the convention coming
Correct. July 18th through 22nd in Cleveland.
It's interesting, the race. Everybody thought that the Republican race was going to be the interesting race, but I really think the Democrat race has become the interesting race in this presidential election.
Hillary keeps losing to Bernie, but it's unfortunate. If you look at the numbers, Bernie keeps winning various caucuses and states, but Hillary's got 300 plus delegates, and Bernie is not going to catch him. So, if you're a Bernie supporter, reality is he's not going to win.
But is he going to get enough delegates to create a contested convention?
No, I mean, ultimately he's going to want something at the convention. Now, they may shut him out, sort of like when they shut Rand Paul out. They didn't want him speaking at the convention. Or if they do, he's going to speak on an off night, on a Monday night where nobody's paying attention.
McGinty, she's tied with Toomey right now. Can she beat him?
Yes, absolutely. Look, Pat, Pat's a good senator, but he barely won in 2010 when he beat Joe Sestak in the Tea Party 9-12 wave election year, and he beat Sestak by less than 100,000 votes. When you had Dan the Man and you had Corbett beat Dan the Man by 250,000 some votes in a statewide election. And when the turnout in Philadelphia County, Allegheny County, unfortunately, northeastern Pennsylvania, State College, where all the college kids are, and because they're left of center, it's like, oh, that's right. Joe knew. Sorry, he did know. But at the end of the day, McGinty is probably going to beat Toomey come the general election.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think, would you agree that Toomey kind of kicked his own ass by kind of standing against gun rights? Not that, I mean, I don't care where anyone stands on the issue, but I mean, this is southwestern Pennsylvania, and he is a Republican. That's kind of like political suicide.
There's a million hunters in the Commonwealth, and you don't touch people's guns. We cling to our guns and religion, but I understand why he did come more of the middle of the road, because he's in a tough election year. I mean, we're not in a, for example, I was in North Carolina.
But Pennsylvania is one of those states where even the Democrats are very pro-Second Amendment.
Correct. But I know a lot of Republicans are voting, going to vote for the write-in, or they're going to write somebody in. They're not voting for them. There's a lot of people who are I'm not going to mention various groups, but NRA members or FOAC. I'm not speaking for any of those organizations, but more importantly, there's a lot of gun owners just say we're voting against them, or they're not voting at all.
What about on the local level? What interesting is going on the local level this week?
Well, locally, I mean, it's still, the buzz is really the convention. I mean, you've got the Republican National Convention coming up. I mean, 2 months in July. Security is going to be tighter than Fort Knox. They're already saying.
Does it make it exciting too that it's like right across the state lines? Like, again, as I said, the highways will widen as you go to Cleveland. Much better highway system. This is kind of like a smooth road to the convention.
This is my fourth convention. 96 Dole Kemp, 08 McCain Palin. The third one was Romney Ryan, and now the fourth one Trump and whoever the presumptive VP is going to be. I've heard names, but I've heard Gingrich, Kasich, Rubio, Cruz. I think it's going to be a wild card. I think it might be Gingrich.
You think Gingrich will?
I mean, It looks pretty good. I mean, he wants a Washington insider, but ultimately people don't vote for a VP candidate.
True.
They don't vote.
Well, do you think that Donald Trump is kind of going against a lot of what he said in the campaign? I mean, there's reports now that he said that he looks to raise $1 billion in campaign funds to run against Hillary Clinton, and he's looking for these major donors that he said that he wasn't going to accommodate.
Good point. Foster Freeze, who actually backed Santorum, he said he's going to put in $100 million.
But yeah, and Trump specifically said he looks to raise $1 billion. Where
Well,
are you going to get that without going to special interests and lobbyists?
It's part of the game. It's the nature.
But
of the
isn't that what
beast.
he ran against? Didn't
ran
he say
against
he
it.
ran the entire primary campaign? He said, "I'm self-funding my campaign."
In order to take on Hillary in the general election or Bernie, you can't self-fund. I mean, if not Trump Enterprises or Trump Towers, he'd be broke. He'd be in bankruptcy again, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I understand your point. You definitely need to play the game in order to win, but
That's the way the system's set up.
It's the way the system's set up.
Right or right, wrong or wrong.
But doesn't that kind of rub people the wrong way almost when you say you're going to self-fund and then
self-fund,
you
then
kind
he
of
does a 180. I agree. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be interesting times. I mean, the convention, you're going to have more security there than ever before. I mean, I've already heard rumors, stories that it's going to be pretty intense.
Do you think there's any chance that the Republicans will steal this from him still?
I hope not. I mean, because if they do, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to walk, probably including myself. Just look, he's the nominee. He's going to be the nominee. I mean, once he reaches 1237, I heard, on the drive on the way up that some of the third-party people approached Mark Cuban from Dallas, originally from Mount Lebanon, to run as a third-party candidate.